Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and we keep you up to date with the headlines. Prime Minister MINH proposes strategic leadership roles at BRICS Summit. Proactive, flexible and efficient in international integration and defense diplomacy. Korean people support Vietnamese victims of Agent Orange dioxin. At the BRICS Summit 2025 in Rio de Janeiro on July the 6th, Vietnamese Prime Minister MINH delivered a key speech during the high-level session on strengthening multilateralism, economic, financial and AI issues. He highlighted three priority areas where BRICS and its partners should lead. The BRICS Summit 2025, taking place from July the 6th to the 7th, was held under the theme Enhancing South-South Cooperation for More Inclusive and Sustainable Global Governance. The event brings together 20 high-level leaders, the Secretary-General of the United Nations, and representatives of various international organizations. Among the key activities of the summit are three major plenary sessions focused on peace, security and global governance reform, strengthening multilateralism, economic and financial issues, and artificial intelligence and global environment, COP30 and health. At the high-level discussion on strengthening multilateralism, economic, financial and AI issues, Prime Minister MINH affirmed Vietnam's role as a sincere friend, trusted partner and responsible member of the international community. He emphasized Vietnam's readiness to work with BRICS and the Global South to promote mutually beneficial cooperation, deepen connectivity, and tackle shared challenges toward building a global governance system that is scientific, effective, inclusive, and sustainable. The world is facing deep volatility and uncertainty driven by political divides, economic fragmentation, eroding trust in global institutions, and rising inequality. These trends fuel protectionism, unilateralism, and extreme nationalism. He emphasized the importance of leading efforts to rebuild multilateral cooperation based on equality and dialogue, not confrontation, in line with the principles of the United Nations Charter and international law of promoting fair and open trade, resisting monopolies and respecting the legitimate rights and interests of all nations, and of harnessing artificial intelligence to serve humanity rather than replace it. His remarks were well received by the summit, reflecting Vietnam's responsible and proactive contribution to promoting international solidarity and inclusive multilateral cooperation rooted in respect for international law and in strengthening the partnership between Vietnam and BRICS member countries. On the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister MINH held bilateral meetings with First Secretary and President of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel, and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. On the afternoon of July the 7th, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense and National Assembly Deputy, joined the Thái Nguyên Province delegation in a themed voter meeting with officers and soldiers of Division 312 and Army Corps 12 following the 9th session of the 15th National Assembly. The delegate shared highlights from the session, which focused on institutional reform and restructuring with the political system to drive fast, sustainable development. Key outcomes included amendments to the 2013 Constitution, approval of the National Election Council, plans to streamline provincial and district-level administrative units, and the passage of 34 laws and 13 resolutions. Notably, with unanimous support, the National Assembly adopted a revised law on military defense affairs and the bill on Vietnam's participation in UN peacekeeping operations. Soldiers welcomed the passage of these military-related laws and expressed interest in policy issues such as housing for service members, eliminating makeshift and dilapidated houses, and the implementation of local defense tasks under the two-tier government model. General Phan Van Giang stressed the need for the military to stay closely aligned with the national situation and provide timely advice to the party and state. He urged the troops of Division 312 under Army Corps 12 to work closely with local authorities to safeguard defense land and devise defense land planning and effectively carry out military missions in line with the new administrative structure and the realities of modern warfare. In an air defense operation, even a 1 second delay can mean defeat. Commanders must inspire their troops and be ready to adapt to situations on the spot, reassess defensive areas, firepower disposition, and prioritize key directions. On this occasion, General Zhang presented gifts to policy beneficiaries and military personnel facing hardships and joined the delegation offering incense and flowers in tribute to heroes and martyrs at their memorial sites at Division 312. On July the 7th, the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army held a conference to hand over the decision to promote the rank of Colonel and Senior Lieutenant Colonel in 2025. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, attended the event. Each comrade promoted this time has always upheld the spirit of innovation, dare to think, dare to do, and dare to take responsibility, contributing to improving the quality and efficiency of party and political work in their units in particular and the home military in general, setting exemplary examples for all levels to continue to learn and strive to achieve even better results. On July the 7th, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, chaired the Political Military Conference of the General Staff for the first 6 months of 2025. Attending the conference were Deputy Chiefs of the General Staff, Senior Lieutenant General Huỳnh Chiến Thắng, Senior Lieutenant General Phùng Sĩ Tấn, and Lieutenant General Phạm Trường Sơn. Speaking at the conference, Chief of the General Staff Nguyễn Tân Cương requested that agencies and units continue to finalize documents and combat plans at all levels. General Nguyễn Tân Cương emphasized that agencies and units need to speed up the progress of digital transformation while preparing to successfully organize the General Staff's Party Congress. In the first 6 months of 2025, the General Staff has directed agencies and units to successfully complete military and defense tasks with many breakthroughs. At the conference, the General Staff launched an emulation movement and awarded collectives and individuals with outstanding achievements in performing tasks over the past time. On the morning of July the 7th, the Ministry of National Defense held a mid-year review conference on international integration and defense diplomacy. The hybrid format event connected the main venue in Hanoi with 12 sites of the military across the country. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, chaired the meeting. In the first half of 2025, Vietnam's international defense cooperation was carried out proactively and creatively, yielding comprehensive results both bilaterally and multilaterally. Defense diplomacy has remained a key pillar alongside party diplomacy and state diplomacy. Bilateral ties were further strengthened, especially with major powers and strategic partners. Defense relations with ASEAN countries, traditional friends, and other important partners continue to grow in substance. Border defense diplomacy stood out, bolstering trust, friendship, and close cooperation with neighboring countries. Highlights included the 9th Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange and the 4th Vietnam-Laos Border Guard Young Officers Exchange. Maritime and air security cooperation also saw tangible progress. For the second half of 2025, defense diplomacy will continue to follow the party and state's foreign policy, focusing on synchronized bilateral efforts across all fields and levels. Vietnam will actively participate in multilateral mechanisms led by ASEAN and prepare to host foreign defense leaders coming for the 80th National Day celebration and the International Military Parade. Plans are also underway to build a memorial honoring foreign military advisors who supported Vietnam's revolutionary cause located at the Vietnam Military History Museum. The ministry is also prioritizing the training of strategic research and diplomatic advisory personnel, along with restructuring defense diplomacy units toward greater efficiency and professionalism. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến emphasized the importance of strategic foresight and flexibility in implementing defense diplomacy. He called for an approach that is principled yet tactically adaptable, deepening ties with international partners, expanding cultural and military exchanges, preserving shared war history, and enhancing digital transformation. On July the 7th in Da Nang, the Ministry of National Defense held a seminar on innovation, digital transformation, and digital economy development with the participation from leaders of military enterprises, defense economic units, and the Military Business Association. Innovation, digital transformation, and digital economy development are key policies of the party, state government, and Ministry of National Defense. The seminar aims to enhance awareness among military enterprise leaders of the role and urgency of digital transformation in economic growth. Coming up next, coastal tourism in Lâm Đồng attracts tourists during summer season. Korean people support Vietnamese victims of Agent Orange dioxin. Since late May, the newly expanded coastal areas of Lâm Đồng have entered the peak summer tourism season. Over the weekends, accommodation facilities have reported high occupancy rates, promising a vibrant and bustling tourism picture. To boost tourism and stimulate growth across related sectors, local tourism businesses have launched a 2025 tourism stimulus program. In addition to discounts on service prices, many destinations have introduced a variety of free and engaging entertainment options for visitors. With favorable conditions such as proximity to Ho Chi Minh City, sunny weather, convenient transportation, and clean and beautiful beaches, the tourism sector is its accelerating efforts to enhance service quality and position the region as an attractive, safe, and friendly destination. Founded in 2002, the Association of Korean People Loving Vietnam, or VESAMO for short, brings together Korean intellectuals, entrepreneurs, artists, and citizens who share a special affection for Vietnam. Over the years, the association has actively engaged in meaningful activities to support Vietnamese victims of Agent Orange dioxin. In Ứng Thiên Commune, Hanoi, both Cao Khánh Hòa and his wife once joined the resistance war against American imperialists. Then they got married and have 4 children. However, the legacy of war has left deep scars on Hòa and his children, who have been all suffering from the consequences of Agent Orange. Some of their family members have passed away, while the others require lifelong treatment. To support them overcome difficulties in life, VESAMO, in collaboration with the Vietnam Association for Victims of Agent Orange dioxin, provided financial assistance for the building of a fully furnished house for them. I would like to express my deepest gratitude for the support and care from Korean businesses. They built a house for me to live in my later years. Since 2015, VESAMO has distributed hundreds of gifts, supported house construction, and provided livelihood assistance for Agent Orange dioxin victims in different provinces in Vietnam. Those supports show the sense of sharing and humanity of Korean friends. Initially, the support efforts were limited to members of the association. Over time, more organizations and agencies from Republic of Korea joined us. Hopefully, our activities would cover more people to help Vietnamese victims of Agent Orange lead better and more stable lives. These acts of kindness not only help ease the lingering pain of war, but also deepen the bonds of friendship between Vietnam and the Republic of Korea, from nation to nation and heart to heart. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.